It was just another Friday night. The streets were wet from the evening rain, neon lights reflecting off the pavement like liquid gold. I was parked outside a high-rise downtown, waiting for my next passenger. The app pinged. 5-star rating. No special requests. I expected a typical ride. Maybe some small talk about the weather. Traffic, the usual. But when the car door opened and he slid into the back seat, I had no idea my entire understanding of success was about to be shattered. He wore faded jeans, a plain grey t-shirt, and worn-out sneakers. Nothing about him screamed wealth, nothing at all. Yet in the next 20 minutes, this quiet, unassuming man would hand me 7 lessons worth more than a lifetime of formal education. If stories like this inspire you, hit that subscribe button and smash the like for more real-life stories that will change how you see the world. This is Last Ride, where every journey teaches something extraordinary. We pulled out into traffic, the city humming around us. He asked how long I'd been driving. I told him 3 years, still figuring things out, still hustling. He nodded slowly, staring out the window at the glowing skyline. Then he said something that stopped me cold. Time is the only currency you can never earn back. I glanced at him in the rearview mirror. He continued, his voice calm but heavy with experience. You can lose all your money and make it back. You can lose your reputation and rebuild it. But time, once it's gone forever. He told me he spent his 20s chasing every dollar, working 80-hour weeks, sacrificing relationships, health, everything. And yes, he made millions. But he missed his daughter's childhood, missed anniversaries, missed life. Don't make my mistake, he said. Money is a tool. Time is life itself. The rain started again, soft drops tapping against the windshield. I felt something shift inside me. This wasn't just advice. It was a warning wrapped in regret. He leaned forward slightly, and I could see his eyes in the mirror now, sharp and intentional. Let me ask you something, he said. How many times have you failed this year? I hesitated. Failed? I thought about the business ideas I'd abandoned, the goals I didn't hit. A few times, I admitted. He smiled for the first time. Good. That means you're trying. I've failed more times than most people even attempt anything. He told me about his first 3 businesses, all bankruptcies, total losses. Friends called him crazy. Family begged him to get a normal job. But each failure taught him what success never could. Failure isn't the opposite of success, he said. It's the tuition you pay for it. We stopped at a red light. The city felt quieter now, almost sacred. I was hanging on every word. He shifted gears without me even asking a question. You know what my net worth is? He asked. I shook my head. Neither do I, he said. But I know exactly who I can call at 3 in the morning if I need help. That list? That's my real wealth. He explained that every major deal he ever closed, every door that opened, every opportunity that changed his life, came through someone he knew. Not what he knew. Who? Relationships aren't networking, he said. Networking is transactional. Relationships are investments in people you genuinely care about. The money follows that, not the other way around. I thought about how often I kept my head down, avoided asking for help, tried to do everything alone. I was building a business in isolation. He could see it on my face. The highway stretched ahead, almost empty now. The city lights faded behind us, and darkness wrapped around the car like a blanket. He kept talking, and I kept listening, feeling like I was in some kind of masterclass I never signed up for but desperately needed. Here's the thing most people never figure out, he said, his tone more serious now. Your mindset determines your ceiling, not your skills, not your connections, your beliefs about what's possible. He told me about growing up poor, watching his parents work 3 jobs and still struggle. For years, he believed wealth was for other people. People born into it, people luckier than him. That belief kept me broke longer than being actually broke did, he admitted. The shift happened when he started surrounding himself with people who thought bigger, who saw opportunities where he saw obstacles. You can't build $1 million life with a minimum wage mindset, he said. Upgrade your thinking, and your reality upgrades with it. I merged onto his exit. We were getting close to his destination now. But he wasn't done. Not even close. You want to know the fastest way to build wealth? He asked. I nodded, almost embarrassed by how eager I was to hear it. Give first. Aggressively. Generously. Without expecting anything back. I must have looked confused because he laughed. I know. Sounds backwards, right? But here's what I learned. When you help people succeed, when you add value without keeping score, you create a gravitational pull. Opportunities start finding you. He told me about mentoring young entrepreneurs for free, connecting people who could help each other, investing in communities that needed it. Every single one of those gestures came back to me tenfold, he said. Not because I planned it that way, but because generosity is magnetic. People want to work with givers, not takers. If you're still watching, do me a favor. Hit that subscribe button right now. Join the Last Ride family, because we're just getting to the most powerful lesson of all. The GPS announced we were 2 minutes away. I felt a strange sadness, like I didn't want this ride to end. He must have sensed it because he leaned back and sighed deeply. I almost lost everything once, he said, his voice quieter now. Not financially. I was at my peak, but I collapsed. Heart attack at 42. The car felt heavier. He explained how success had consumed him so completely that he stopped sleeping, stopped exercising, stopped caring for his body. I thought I was invincible, he said. Turns out, your body doesn't care how much money you have. It'll shut down if you don't respect it. He told me about the 6 months of recovery, the fear, the humility. Now I work out every morning. I sleep 7 hours minimum. I eat real food. Because what's the point of building an empire if you're too sick to enjoy it? His words hit me like a physical weight. I'd been running myself into the ground, thinking rest was for the weak. We pulled up to his building. Luxury high-rise. Doorman. Valet. The kind of place I'd only seen in movies. But he didn't rush out. He sat there for a moment, and I could feel he was preparing to say something important, something final. You've been patient with me, he said. So here's the 7th lesson, the one that ties everything together. I turned around in my seat, fully facing him now. The rain had stopped. The city was silent. He looked me straight in the eye. None of this matters if you don't know why you're doing it. He paused, letting that sink in. Money without purpose is just numbers. Success without meaning is just noise. I spent 10 years chasing wealth before I realized I didn't even know what I wanted it for. He told me about the moment everything clicked, when he started building businesses not just to make money, but to solve problems he cared about, to create jobs, to leave something behind. That's when everything got easier, he said, because I wasn't motivated by greed anymore. I was motivated by impact. He reached for the door handle but stopped. Can I ask you something? He said. I nodded. Why do you drive for Uber? The question caught me off guard. I stammered something about flexibility, extra income, figuring things out. He smiled gently. That's how. I asked why. I didn't have an answer. Not a real one. He let the silence sit between us, not uncomfortably, but like a teacher waiting for a student to arrive at the truth on their own. Figure that out, he said. And everything else becomes clear. The sacrifices make sense. The hard days become purposeful. The success, when it comes, actually feels like success. He opened the door and stepped out into the cool night air. I thought that was it. The ride was over. But then he leaned back in through the window, pulled out his wallet, and handed me a tip. $200. My heart skipped. But then he handed me something else. A business card. Simple. Elegant. Just his name and a phone number. "I'm looking for people who think differently," he said. "People who are hungry, but humble. People who listen. Call me next week if you're serious about changing your life." Before I could respond, before I could even process what was happening, he smiled and walked toward the building. I sat there, stunned, holding that card like it was made of gold. Because in a way, it was. What was supposed to be a simple 20-minute ride to earn $30 became a turning point. I drove home in complete silence, replaying every word, every lesson. Time over money. Failure as tuition. Relationships as wealth. Mindset as ceiling. Generosity as strategy. Health as foundation. Purpose as compass. 7 lessons. 7 keys. And all of it from a man who could have stayed silent, could have scrolled his phone, could have treated me like just another driver. But he didn't. He saw me. He taught me. And whether he knew it or not, he changed me. I still have that card. I called him the following Tuesday. That conversation led to a mentorship. That mentorship led to opportunities I never imagined. But more than anything, it led to clarity. I finally understood why I was hustling, what I was building toward, and who I wanted to become. That ride didn't just teach me about success. It taught me about life, about legacy, about what actually matters when the noise fades and you're left alone with your choices. And I'm forever grateful that on one rainy Friday night, a millionaire in a plain t-shirt decided to share his story with a stranger. So here's my question for you. Which of these 7 lessons hit you the hardest? Which one are you going to apply to your life starting today? Drop a comment below. I read every single one. And if this story moved you, if it made you think differently, do me a favor. Subscribe to Last Ride. Hit that notification bell. Because every week, I share real stories from real rides that carry real lessons. Stories that remind us we're all connected. That wisdom can come from anywhere. That sometimes the most ordinary moments hold the most extraordinary truths. Thank you for riding with me until the very end. Seriously, it means the world. And trust me, the best stories are still ahead. In the next video, I'm sharing the ride that made me cry. A passenger who got in my car in complete silence, tears streaming down their face. And what they told me broke my heart and changed how I see struggle forever. You don't want to miss it. It's already live. Click it now. Let's keep riding together.